During the early, during the early 2000s, DC Comics decided to try to re-release a new line of comics for the main three heroes of the DC universe: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and thus naming it the All-Star line. All-Star Wonder Woman was a pretty successful hit. All-Star Batman and Robin, I think Linklater's reviews over at the top of the fourth wall basically summed them up the best. And of course, we have also Superman, which was the highest selling comic book that not only won an Eisner, but won an award for Best Written Comic Book Series, and also is credited to this day as one of the greatest Superman comic books ever written. And why am I bringing this up? Well, because in the late 2010s, they decided to adapt it into an animated film. And the animated film captured everything about that comic book and more. So, my friends, join me today as we'll be taking a look and having a ride through the All-Star Superman line. Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lady Universe and White Unodi, and yes, we are taking a look at All-Star Superman, the animated adaptation upon the comic book of the same name written by the great Grant Morrison. So if nobody has seen or read All-Star Superman yet, just be forewarned that there will be some spoilers into this, but I just want everybody to enjoy nonetheless and have fun, but just be warned, spoilers. This Friday, this Friday, James Gunn Superman comes into theaters, so this week I am just gonna geek out upon over Superman films, and I think that this one is an appropriate one to basically start with before I move on to something even bigger coming for this Friday. But I have to say that All-Star Superman, when I read it, was great. I actually read only the first. I would trade paperback when I was in middle school, and I actually kind of liked it. And then back in 2014, I ended up from an ex-girlfriend of mine getting the entire run of the All-Star Superman line and actually reading it and actually finding it very enjoyable. I don't have it anymore. I actually sold them off quite a long time ago. But yeah, I really enjoyed, All-Star Superman for what it was worth. And a lot of people have said that All-Star Superman was one of the greatest runs, out there and ever, and which it is. And a lot of people say that the All-Star Superman movie is one of the best Superman movies that that is out there, one of the best animated Superman adaptations. I already talked about how I read Superman versus the Elite, or Superman number 775, which captured Superman versus the Elite very well. But I have vague memories about All-Star Superman, which was DC's most popular All-Star line. All-Star Wonder Woman came pretty close in measuring up with him, and then you have All-Star Batman and Robin. Nobody talked about All-Star Batman and Robin after what it did. The Adventures of Crazy Steve, we'll put it that way. But, without things said and done, why don't we head over and see how the DCAU handled All-Star Superman? So, why don't we figure out why this is known as Grant Morrison's greatest Superman run? And believe you me, Grant Morrison knows how to write a damn good Superman. So, let's get into this and check out and review All-Star Superman together, shall we? Upon saving a small group of scientists, Superman notices that he's getting stronger, he's getting more intelligent, more curious, and thus he's kind of worried and also interested about the whole process. As the Man of Steel finds out that the only reason why all this is happening is because he's dying. His cells are irradiating solar radiation like crazy, and he's dying. And this is basically Superman during the time of his death, trying to figure out what he can do, especially telling the truth to his girlfriend, Lois Lane, long before she married him for what he is. But of course, with the Man of Steel, he doesn't end up telling Lois right away that he's dying. He'd rather hide it in the corner and pretend that it never existed because he don't want people to worry about him. Which is a very, very, very good Superman trait. When you think about Superman, you think about a man who literally saved the world single-handedly about 1,000 times, if not more, in group effort. And Yeah, he wouldn't want anyone to basically worry about him over something like this happening. And of course, it really does mean something that he hides it from Lois. This is a person that he loved and trusts with all of his soul, his life, his heart, everything. And that is really a Superman right there. Is that he doesn't want the world to know that he is dying or that he is weak, so to speak, because he knows once word gets out, his villains are gonna come after him, and his villains are gonna come after like Lois, maybe even the Kents, everyone that they can get their hands on just to get to him. So Superman actually hiding his secret only because he cares about Metropolis. He cared about the people of Earth. He cared about Lois Lane. He cared about his mother and father that had raised him. That is Superman right there, and that is a great Superman trope. Although I did forget that during the comic book he wasn't married to Lois. I thought that he was, but then I remembered. Oh wait, no, they were dating during the All Star Superman comics. They were not married at all. So it's kind of like what would happen if they were married in a sense, but I do like the aspect that they're dating. And then also Superman also kind of like gives Lois a serum which gives her superpowers, but he kind of drugs her into forgetting that he ever told her her secret, and it's like, oh Clark, oh Clarkers, I know that you don't want nobody to know that you're dying, brother, but Lois would keep your secret. I'm pretty sure that she would keep the secret and whatnot. So, oh, Clarkers, if she ever finds out when you two are married, you are in for the beating of a lifetime. This also includes other Grant Morrison creations. Now, Morrison usually likes to make weird characters, but he also likes to make like very well written characters, but also very weird characters like Flex Mentallo that I talked about before, Crazy Jane from Doom Patrol. But also he's credited for basically bringing us two very weird, super strong time travelers, whether they existed in Superman before this or not, and Morrison brought them back. That's also something that Morrison does, and that is Samson and Atlas. Samson and Atlas are a team of superheroes that basically travel through time and basically try to help the world by traveling through time and everything, but they're also basically douchebags. Like, they try to mean well, but at the same time, they're just basically the biggest douchebags on the planet, and also they don't care about the consequences that happen for their time traveling, so they just decide, fuck it, let's just do what we want. But not before, Atlas and Samson decide, why not challenge Superman to an arm wrestling competition for the attention of Lois Lane, which of course you know who wins.
Gee whiz, what happened that time?
It also should be no shit or no fucking duh, but of course Lex Luthor is behind this and he's behind Superman dying as he finally figured out how to kill him. Lex decided to creatively use Superman's ability against him. You know how Superman absorbs radiation from the sun? Well, he decided to over-radiate him. And it worked. He was finally able to take Superman's ability and turn it against him, thus killing him in the process and ridding the world of his greatest foe.
Well, that's legitimately disappointing. I really will leave you alone forever now.
No, I mean, he literally has a way of getting in my head.
That is evil.
I love the twist of Lex Luthor, instead of creating a monster to destroy Superman, instead of creating this weapon that could destroy Superman, he finally does his research. He does everything human possible, and he figures out, I have a way of killing him now. I have a way of ridding the world of my adversary, and it's sitting right in front of me. It's the sun. I can over-radiate his cells and kill him. This is the best day ever. And he uses this to his advantage. And Superman doesn't even fight him. Doesn't at first. Doesn't even fight him. Doesn't kill him. Does not show an ounce of getting rid of him or eliminating him from the world. He's more curious about it. And that is another Superman quality, is that just like Batman with the Joker, Batman knows he could kill Joker. Batman knows he could rid the world of that evil, but he walked that line and chooses not to. He stared into that abyss, but he never jumped down. Superman has been raised better to appreciate the human person. Yeah, he could rid the world of Lex Luthor too, but he chooses not to because he knows what would happen if he actually ended up doing so. The fact that the world would fear him, something that was pointed out in Superman vs. the Elite, which I'll pin in the comments down below where you can go and watch that review if you're interested to hear me talk about that. But not to repeat myself, but Superman is always afraid of losing the people. Like, his greatest strength is the people of the world. And he knows at this moment too, when he visits Lux in prison, that if I kill him right here, right now, expose my secret and kill him, I lose the trust of the people that I've come to know, that appreciate me, that love me, and I don't want that for the world, and that is a great thing that happens. And also, Lex, being Lex Luthor, figured out that I can actually harness the powers of Superman. Because in the comics, he actually gives Lois a serum, which he does in the movie, that gives her superpowers for 24 hours. Lex somehow figures this out and gives himself the serum so it becomes Super Lex versus Superman. And if you've played the Lego game, Super Lex is a basically reference / parody of him getting superpowers in this movie. And I gotta hand it to you, man. This is probably the most evil Lex Luthor outside of the original Superman movie, outside of Superman Doomsday, even the Superman animated series. Grant Morrison knows how to write a damn good Lex Luthor, and this is probably the most evil Lex Luthor has ever been. Oh, that's not a joke either. He legitimately gained Superman's abilities and thus uses them to try to kill the Man of Tomorrow, to try to kill Superman, which becomes a battle between Man vs. Steel and the world's greatest mind as they go up against one another to try to figure out who is really superior, Superman or Lex. It's a great and awesome fight scene that ends in the best way imaginable, as Superman has to accept that he is dying and there's nothing else he can do.
Oh, your poor face. No one can repair the sun but me, Lois. I'm turning into...
But does Superman really die? That I'm gonna leave up to you guys at home to figure out by picking up this movie, because All-Star Superman is worth your time. It is an awesome movie with some great voice acting, great animation that really captures the comic book art style, and it just feels like they just copied everything that Morrison had done. I don't know if Morrison was a executive producer on this or associated with this in any way, but it really does feel like they put his comic book to life from what I can remember from most of it. And this movie is just all kinds of awesome. It's one that you can smile and look at and go, that is my Superman. And that is why my Funko Pop rating of All-Star Superman is going to get a Superman. Because you can look up upon it, smile, and go, that is indeed my Superman, and that is the best adaptation of Superman that I've seen. So, my Funko Pop rating of All-Star Superman is getting a Superman. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope I influenced multiple people to check out All-Star Superman. It is a great and terrific Superman adaptation, especially a faithful adaptation to the comic book. So, I hope that I've intrigued you to check this out, because it is a very awesome movie, and I'm going to be reviewing more Superman content coming up later on this week, as I think I have a very special treat to honor the legacy that Superman has had, bringing us to James Gunn Superman, which comes out this Friday. Are you guys going to see it? I'm very excited about it. I have no idea if I'm going to see it or not, but I'm very, very excited about it. So, Until Friday, my friend, for more Superman content, thank you so much for watching. I've raised universe, I've watched Nerdy, keep it on, and be sure to tell me your favorite Superman animated movie in the comments down below. And also, while you're down there, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and also join me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've raised universe, I've watched Nerdy, keep it on, and until next time, guys, and as always, take care.